Alas, I think our opponent's in a bit of a pickle here, I must say. Greetings, everyone. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad that you are here. We're going to be playing some Magic the Gathering Arena today, as always. These are some of the highlights from our stream, and I really hope you enjoy the games. If you do really enjoy the program, please don't forget to leave a like and subscription. It really, really helps the channel. So without further ado, let's get to the games. Is this one of those features that everybody else gets and they hide from John, or? Great question, Septic Mushroom. Typically through the Discord. Typically through the Discord, into the brew station. Yeah, it's true, Gimp. It's absolutely true. Speaking of which, give your other half a hello from the wife and I. But Septic Mushroom, you can also, like, just whisper it to me. My direct messages on Twitch are open, but you can't, like, whisper, like, you know, 7 mountains, 2 Fae of Wishes, 4 Lozon, or whatever, because Twitch has a character limit. So you'll get about halfway through the deck, or, I mean, I'll get about half the deck. Your whole message will be in your history. I get about half of it. So, it doesn't work. Oh, well, fair enough. Okay, Ruined Crab. Going to be doing a little bit of milling us. It's not normally O2B, but yesterday I was commenting a tournament. And, so I decided to make it up to you folks and do one today. I don't do that every time, but I felt bad because I didn't even give any of you folks warning. I didn't let anybody know or anything because I completely forgot. And, you know, kind of a bummer there. The top 8 decks. Great question. Man, this stinks. Okay. So we can send it back, but they just cast it again. Yeah. But Poseidon, you can go to MTG Melee and actually go over there and check out the Pizza Box Open. And they'll it will all be there for your viewing pleasure. I do stream. I did stream yesterday. I just didn't stream on my own channel, notably. Right? No, I did. I did, J-Skills. I was broadcasting and you could watch. But, you know, it just wasn't here. Just saying. Just saying. All right. Hey, there we go. And got double red. I guess we could get a faux rest there. That's turn. Peta. Good to see you, Peta, again. I did host the channel, Dalwin. I did the thing. So if you came to my channel while I was not live yesterday, you would have seen Pizza Box's channel. Hollywood Pizza. There you go. For those of you who wanted to check out the channel afterward. So here's the thing, folks. I am concerned. You know what we should have put in the sideboard? We should have put a stinking Thought Distortion. Can't be countered. Exile all the things from their hand. Thought Distortion. I'm putting that in the side. That's happening. Because a lot of the time they'll let you go and fetch something up and then they'll just counter whatever you fetch, right? So if they let us fetch Thought Distortion and don't counter it, oh boy, that'd be great. Oh. You know, you're right. When you're right, you're right. Yep, user 7234. I was really excited for a second. Oh, they have Essence Scatter? Bummer. Yeah, it is black, isn't it? Yeah. End of the story. All right, all of this is horrible. I'm not having a good time right now. Our opponent is denying all of our fun. 30 cards remain in the library. Hey, fair enough, beat again. Indeed. We do have treasures, that's true. All right, well, Lindsay, join the party. Okay, ruin crabs. Yep, getting all crabby. All right. Well, that's unfortunate. So, not looking good for the home team, folks. Not looking good for the home team. Jeepless. I can appreciate your style of gameplay here, but if you could also share the priority, that would make it a lot easier to be your opponent. Thank you, Jeepless. All right, so Ducky McQuacks, good to see ya. I'm glad for user 7234, for the record, because that's absolutely the sort of thing that I would do, and then everybody would have made fun of me for the rest of my streaming career. So user 7234, bailing me out. Really nice. I agree, Boxy. They probably do. Ooh. Well, fair enough, Septic Mushroom. I will absolutely do that. All right. I don't think we're going to get another turn. And I'm also confident that even if we did, there's no way we would be able to win. But I do want to anger the gods and hope that it resolves just to get vengeance on our opponent. You know? Opponent. Very deliberately playing here. Come on. All right, fine. You got us, you got us. It does make it difficult in the stipulation to add cards that are better than your stipulation card in the same mana slot that compete with it, right? Now, admittedly, yeah, it can easily be said, well, just stop trying to do the stipulation, make the deck better. But that is kind of the point of the stipulation, is the stipulation, right? All right, Soul Warden. Yeah, these things are unfortunate. All right. Fearsome Whelp. Galazeth. Ooh. Galazeth is strong, because that also helps us get to Lozan if we're going to miss a land drop. Is Galazeth... I mean... It definitely should at least be a 1 of. Is it a 2 of? Now you show up. Fine timing, my friend. Fine timing. Voice the Blessed, large enough to kill us. And we are going to be unable to stop it, I think. Alright, well, Soul Warden while we can. Fearsome Whelp. Get in for 1. Pass turn. Just pull Brazen Borrower? All we have to do is pull the best card in the deck? Alright. You make a convincing argument. Alright, well, we block. Voice the Blast grows. No, I'm good, Mome. Thank you. All right. This stinks. Do we have anything in the sideboard that's going to be able to handle Voice the Blast? We don't have any bounce or anything, do we? Dragon Turtle, if we draw it off the top, would be good. Yeah, exactly, Procon. That's what I'm thinking right now. All right. Well, Tropicancer, good to see ya. All right. Aromas gets a Speaker of Heavens. Attacks in with the team. Voice the Blast grows. Yeah. All right. Down to 8. These are not good things. Oh boy, Brazen Borrower coming off the top. That is huge. Okay, so send Voice the Blast back. Kill the Speaker. Town Razor Tyrant. Kill the Lendon. Lindsay. Get him for 4. All right. Brazen Borrower putting in work. All right. Well, we've got a shot, because Fae of Wishes also will ping the Voice of the Blast when it shows back up. Okay, well, there's a Voice of the Blast already starting to grow, but again, the Fae of Wishes here. We've got good news on that front. Fae of Wishes, go to the side. What do we grab? Is it just like Sarkhan? Starting to try and take over the game a little bit? You would have gone with the Burn Down the House? That's an entirely reasonable plan. Sarkhan's also removal is what I was thinking, and I think Soul Warden is the most threatening thing that they can be doing. Right? And Burn Down the House kills all of our own stuff as well. Right? Or at least that's the rationale. Wow, folks. Our opponent goes after the Town Razor Tyrant instead of Lindsay. Alright. Well, that much is fine. We'll keep going after Aromas' face. Down to 12. Alright. Revitalizes up to 15. Draws a card. Looking for at land drop, folks. Fabled Passage. Apparently they're on green. Telstar, good to see you, my friend. Oh, on black. Wow, was not expecting that. All right, well, you know, we're gonna go ahead, go up, grab a Shivan Dragon. And Fae of Wishes. Charge in there for 4. Drop our opponent down to 11. Hang on for dear life. If nothing changes, we very well may just develop with the Brazen Borrower. Ha! But this leaves open the option to discard a couple of cards. Looks like we're going to keep this hand. A little bit awkward, but darn it, at least we won't get stuck on 3 mana. He says right before they come out with land destruction, right? Yeah. All right, we draw an island. Feels good. Season of Growth. Wow, was not expecting Season of Growth. I can tell you that right now. Fearsome Whelp. Charge in. Opponent. What are you doing with Season of Growth? Risen Reef. Okay, that's terrifying. We're going to kill that. Absolutely going to kill that. Just, you know, not going to even spend 1 second contemplating. That thing needs to leave. With Season of Growth on the battlefield, they're clearly going to be doing some absolutely wild shenaniganery, and I think we need to do our best to stave that off. We're gonna go with Sarkhan Wanderer to Shiv. Opponent has Sinister Sabotage. Wow. I mean, I'm actually kind of glad they snapped it off on Sarkhan, because our plan was to double spell this turn. So, Lindsay? Frilled Mystic. Okay. What on earth? What on earth is our opponent doing? Who is playing Season of Growth and Risen Reef in their Simic counterspell deck? All right. Cavalier Gales draws a bunch of cards, gonna put some back. We don't currently have an answer to Cavalier of Gales, notably. Okay. 2 cards remain in hand. Dragons showing up. All right. Opponent is like, yeah, I'm not going to let you board sweep me. Turns out it wasn't a board sweeper at all. You fell directly into my trap. You have activated my trap card, and Cavalier Gale's going to get shuffled back into the library, then scries a couple. Bottom and bottom. And we're going to put the taxing effect on a breeding pool. Opponent has another Season of Growth. It's a great question, Casual Suspect. I guess I am still always just surprised when an opponent is doing something similar to something that I would do. Like, that's what surprises me. Because it happens pretty rarely, you know? All right. Opponent on 4 life. Red 9. What you say? They say they scoop it up. All right, GG. Yep. All right, we'll keep it. And Steam Vents hit the thing. I don't know, Scum7. I have considered doing something like that, but I don't even know that I'm the right person. There are lots of really good drafters, you know? We're gonna send back a Ruin Crab because it's strongly possible, you know. Yeah, they're doing lots of milling related things, and this at least kind of disrupts them a little bit. Buys us a little bit of time, or at least hopefully it does. Okay. Opponent going to Rogue. They do. We're going to stomp it. Stomp that Thieves Guild Enforcer. All right. Opponent lands, mills us for 3 more. Really don't want him to counterspell our Sarkhan, folks. Really don't want him to counterspell our Sarkhan. Please don't. Please don't, Bubble. I said please. Oh my gosh, thank heavens. All right, get rid of that Ruin Crab. They're probably going to kill our Sarkhan now, but just getting rid of the Ruin Crab is a really nice thing. Yeah, Steamboat Captain. It is the exact opposite for me by a lot. By a lot. I focus on being an entertainer and talking and stuff. I don't multitask well at all. As a matter of fact, when I draft on stream, it is traditionally a lot worse. Yeah, unfortunate. And believe me when I say, I wish that weren't the case, because it's really embarrassing for me, you know, when I'm not, you know, I'm just wholesale embarrassing myself over and over and over. You know, it's really embarrassing. Okay. Well, I mean, that's fair, Bank Sinatra. And, you know, for what it's worth, I'm sure some number of people agree on that front. But for me, I don't multitask well. And it really, you know, puts the hurt on. All right, Dragon Turtle. Show up. But the same is true of Constructed. Because, you know, you've got to keep the flow of the stream going. Otherwise, it stops being entertaining. All right, well, I'll pay. Do you have another counterspell? They do have another counterspell. All right, well, these things are fine. I mean, we're not thrilled about this, folks, but it's fine. Sarkhan. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, Sarkhan goes up, making our dragons cheaper. And Lohan, join the party. Yeah, I mean, but they did just draw 4 cards, right, with End of the Story. So I don't think trading even is going to be something that benefits us long term. But, you know, yeah. Pa got crushed by a CDH player on turn 6. That's kind of lame. Holy cow. For real. Good heavens. All right. Well, Lindsay eats it. Makes another land drop. Goes to combat. Goes after Sarkhan. We go after the Merfolk Windrobber. Do you have another counterspell? Have the 3rd mystical dispute. Okay. That is a bummer. All right. Well, Wrathful Red Dragon comes on down. Makes it to the battlefield. Do you have a conventional kill spell opponent? We will find out. Cling to Dust eats up a Dragon's Fire, draws a card. Well, Elfenlied, build Historic Brawl, right? Because that's all you need for Historic Brawl. Oh, is this a board sweeper? Or are you drawing into removal? Is that what's going on here? End of the story. Draws a million more cards. Our opponent somehow went from 2 cards in hand to 7 cards in hand. Does find the Heartless Act. That's just unreasonable. Absolutely unreasonable. All right, well. Bone Crusher Giant. Join the party. Actually. All right. We are going to resolve this now, despite the fact I might not particularly like that. They drew into more counter magic, 100%. They have 6 cards in hand, right? So Soaring Thought Thief shows up. Thieves Guild Enforcer mills over a little bit. Another Soaring Thought Thief. Ay, ay, ay. Because we're being outcarded so hard, Poseidon. Like, our opponent's drawn 25 million cards. There's, you know, we've got to try and find a way back into this. And it seems unreasonable to believe that we will get into the game. Well, okay. Without okay. Opponent takes it all. All right. Maybe we're supposed to go for the Sokens in there, but in fairness, since they didn't block these, they absolutely would have blocked the other 2. So this would have just been spewed off for nothing. Opponent adds Lurrus to hand. Yeah, we're hurting, folks. We are hurting. Luris shows up. Gets a Ruin Crab? Does. Alright. And the Fabled Passage? How frustrating. Pappy Slappy, how about I refund those points? Because I don't think the stream is going to last 5 minutes. And I don't want to rip you off. Oh my gosh. Please stop giving me the priority. I don't want priority. I don't want priority. All right. Gotta click all the appropriate buttons. I wish there was an easier way to do that, folks. There is not. All right. There is not. All right. You got us, opponent. You got us. Sure. Does not have any interaction outside of the Dragon Turtle, but Dragon Turtle does interact, so, you know. If Hobble Fiend? A little surprised by that one. Well, Fearsome Whelp, join the party. Get in there. Does our opponent steal our creature with Claim the Firstborn or Act of Treason or something, and then sacrifice it? Is that what Hobble Fiend's about? Perhaps. Spare supplies. Interesting. Draws a card. Hobble Fiend crashes in. Well, the cards in our hand get cheaper. You gotta love it. You have got to love it. Yeah, well, they might steal our stuff, but we're gonna try and tax their land a little bit as best we can. Town Razor Tyrant joins the party. If it is specifically Claim the Firstborn, that only hits 3 CMC or less. So Town Razor Tyrant avoids that, whereas the Dragon Turtles get hit by that. So I think that much is good. If it's Act of Treason, that's 3 mana. They still need another mana, right? So these things would be okay. Opponent doing a little bit of considering, thinking, pondering, deciding. 6 cards in hand. A mountain, Seer Step Pathway, and a swamp. But don't forget that Seer Step Pathway stands to deal them some damage. Goblin Matron. Was not expecting that card. What are you matroning up? Skirk Prospector. What is happening? Hey, Peter. What's happening? Wow. Opponent lets it go. Good heavens. Well, we're going to crash in. Don't mind if I do. And we're just going to wait. See what happens. Opponent deadly disputes away the spare supplies. And draws a couple of cards. Has a treasure in play now. 8 cards in hand. Finds the land drop. Appears not to. You know what? That's fine. Opponent drops us down to 15. Going to spend the Skirk Prospector. Or they're going to spend the treasure to get the Skirk Prospector into play. Okay. Sacrifices Goblin Matron to play a Jack-o'-lantern. What is happening? What is our opponent up to? They're definitely doing something off the beaten path. I can tell you that. without equivocation. Skirk Prospector gonna Lotus Petal itself. Gets another Jack-o'-lantern. Okay. All right, well, we're just gonna cast some big dragons, I guess. And put our opponent to 8. See if they can turn those jack-o'-lanterns into something tangible here. Reckless Impulse does find lands. They're probably happy about that. Probably disappointed that they didn't pay a little life to keep the other on board. Skirk Prospector, sure. That's okay. Yeah, Mao Faber. Scooping them up. I have no idea what they were trying to do. Do I have a deck to recommend to you if you wanted to get to Mythic? I do that. Do I have a deck comprised entirely of Mythics? I do not have that. Merfolk Secret Keeper. Gonna mill us over. Okay. Gets Lindsay Lohan. Yeah. I think we're gonna do this before they can sacrifice it. Teferi's Tutelage happens. Okay. I think we're just going to be brazen borrowing here. Because then we can Dragon's Fire away the Merfolk Windrobber. And Mystic Sanctuary, going to bring back a Maddening Cacophony? Sure. Alright, these things are fine. Drown Secrets, you got it. No, let me cast it, please. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Scum 7, it's, you know, it's fine. I would not say it's breaking the meta anytime soon. Actually, yeah. Let's do this. Opponent going to draw a card. You got it. Fairy's Tutelage. Yes. And Fearsome Whelp. Come on down. Crash in for 4. Your go, Big Perm. Merfolk's Secret Keeper. Mills over some more. You got it. And Merfolk's Secret Keeper. Mills over some more. 28 cards left in library. Maddening Cacophony. Mills over some more. 18 cards left in library. All right. Not ideal. Fair enough, Scum 7. Fair enough. And an island shows up. Dragon cards get cheaper. Of course, we didn't have any to begin with, so it doesn't really matter. This is all inconvenient. So we're gonna conjure a Shivan Dragon to our hand. Crash in for 4. Pray that our opponent runs out of ways of milling us, though admittedly, we don't expect that to be the case. And opponent passing through. Okay. Yep, these things happen. And I think we're going to try and play around soft counters here. See what our opponent has to say. It also allows us to hold up Dragon's Fire. All right. Hey, thank you, Casual Suspect. Appreciate you. So, okay, how do you do that, Casual Suspect? No. I have not been able to do that myself. I looked at, or I saw a thing where it said that that was happening, but I wasn't presented any options. I assume it's on the little browser thing. Thanks, Sinatra. Glad you made it. Good to see you. Well, gotta hope they don't have a land drop. No, it's a fabled passage. Fabled passage gets cracked. Well, we're gonna respond with a Dragon's Fire. All right. 5 cards remain, folks. Our opponent is empty-handed. Good heavens. GG, Big Perm. GG. All right, I suppose. All right, well, we're going to start on a Stormcarved Coast so that we can cast Brazen Borrower if we need to on turn 2. If not, who knows? All right. Since they just went with a tapped land, I think we're going to be patient. Yep, okay, Incubation Druid, fine. Well, we don't want them to be able to take advantage of Incubation Druid's mana, so we're just going to send it back right now. Go on ahead. Go full Maskwood Nexus on the deck. Well, okay, but that's the problem. Like, everything in the deck is already a dragon except for Bone Crusher, Brazen Borrower, Fae of Wishes, right? Is there another one? So I don't think the... Okay, Beanstalk Giant. Yeah, that's right. That's true. Oh boy, Shadowrunner. All right, fair enough. I say, Elbean. Our opponent going to be destroying those lands. Does not feel overly good, I've got to say. But the good news is we can go up, reducing the cost of all of the dragons in our hand. And I think we will go on ahead and deploy one of them. It is true that we might suffer just a wee bit because of the... If our opponent can snap off 2 separate land destruction spells, then we would be suffering greatly. I lose my monocle there. As long as they don't do that thing, well, and I say, quite good indeed, eh? Quite good indeed. Sure, let's go on up and deploy another Steam Vents, and then just a dragon. That's right, 4 more power charging in there. Nilla, what do you say about that? Indeed. Incubation Druid joins the party. And Stomping Grounds. Alas, I think our opponent's in a bit of a pickle here, I must say. Alright. Yes, Nilla! Good game, old boy. Good game. Ah, yes. One day, perhaps, overnight. Rogue 528, glad you made it. Good to see you. Alright. Not thrilled about this, but is what it is. Stomping Ground. Join the party. Well, I say. Ooh, Baldur off pathway. Indeed. Well, Sprite Dragon, join the party. 1 more damage. Going directly at our opponent. And interesting. Yes. Well, since we can't do it all, I think we are going to go ahead and try and get ahead of our opponent with land drops and the like, you know, trying to go after our extra mountain here, I believe. We'd like to be able to deploy Lindsay next turn if we can manage it. Docks in the headlights. Glad you made it. Good to see you. Glad you were out there. Alright. Fair enough, Pappy Slappy. Ah, right in my eye. Not ideal. Oh, nay, nay, folks. Alright. Well, so unfortunately, this is a precarious situation, no doubt, but Lindsay Lohan joined the party. And Dorat, get in. Fair enough, Boxy. I will get you after this game, of course. And, Yuya has intangible virtue. Ay, ay, ay. That is not good news, let me tell you. Ooh, join the dance. Good heavens, folks. 3/3 kittens. No blocks. Alright, well, is this mana value? Indeed. Indeed. Well, Sprite Dragon on the Jennifer. And Bathe in Gold on the Jennifer. Dorats are growing. And unfortunately, though, we've got to hold back. Otherwise, we will die, and I'm not a fan of dying, you know. Not a fan of dying whatsoever. Jennifer number 2 joins the party, and Legion's landing as well. I believe that is, proverbially, of course, all she wrote. GG, opponent, GG. Yuya. It was an honor indeed. It was an honor indeed.